everyone!
Hello, hello, and congratulations. You made it midway through the week. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello, rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Let's get you through this hump day with good vibes, great company, inspiration, and unstoppable energy.
And I'm Monique Tuzon, and your mornings are always mo fun with us. Join us in the next hour for stories and conversations that matter. We have an exciting lineup today because somebody is back from last week, but talking about something else.
That is so vague. Make it more specific naman mo.
So they can, this is a hook, so they can watch. Kayo,
Or maybe we could just tell them.
Here.
Should we tell them?
Yeah.
Look, here's how I would tease it.
Okay, go.
Because I'm not going to be part of this segment, by the way.
Okay, go look at the camera and tease it.
Look, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you won't want to miss what we have later because we're going to give you some tips where to get some of the cheaper bags out there in the market right now, but at high quality. And of course, di lang yan, celebrity po yung endorser po natin. Ayun, that's how you do it mo.
And the
Okay.
most important thing here is they are locally made.
Yes.
So we support
And
the local
I
bag
love
industry.
everything local.
Right?
Of course, everything I'm wearing,
Yes.
most of it's
No,
local.
no, it's not.
Minus the pants. This is local.
No, you're wearing three
It is
stripes
local.
on your
Not
pants.
the, I said except for the pants. Relax.
Okay.
The shirt is local. I'm such an advocate for local stuff, especially here in the Philippines. Everything is so beautifully made here. So I think we need to advocate more for that. So
Yes.
I'm excited for that segment.
Absolutely right. We also have, of course, we're going to talk about health as well
Yeah.
later
Health
on
is all
via
over.
Zoom, of course.
I was going to say the doctor is in, but the doctor is via Zoom.
Yeah, it's still in.
Yes.
Via
Still
Zoom.
in, yeah.
Oh,
Digital consult.
Still online.
Yes, very timely because it's Cancer Prevention Month. And also yesterday we celebrated World Cancer Day. So we'll be talking about cancer later
I'm
on.
going to be talking about food next, okay? Because,
Ooh.
no, I'm going to be talking about food next simply because, I'll ask Mo first, how's your diet going?
It's going well, actually.
Really? Wow.
Thank you.
So-
You were waiting for a response saying I haven't been doing well, but I've been doing
that's
well.
a legit question because I was going to say...
Why are you
it
talking
might-
about food?
Because it might actually be a bit harder kasi rice can now be bought at the suggested retail price of 35 pesos per kilo
Amazing
as we
segue.
go into some of our more serious news. That's after the Agriculture Department declares a food security emergency. The National Food Authority says they will give its buffer stock to LGUs at 33 pesos per kilo, which they could sell with up to 2 pesos markup. Senate President Chis Escudero supports DA's declaration, saying it's important to lower the price of food.
Ang pinakamalaking rason kung bakit mataas ang inflation natin ay food inflation. Kapag ka mapababa natin ang presyo ng bigas at mga pangunahing bilihin at pagkain, bababa ng malaking porsyento ang ating inflation. So tama lang natutukan yan ng administrasyon.
The Federation of Free Farmers doubts the government's basis in declaring a food security emergency. FFF National Manager Raul Montemayor tells Business 360 that while they do not oppose the decision, it should have been studied more carefully.
In their press statement, they said there was a spike in prices in 2023. That was more than a year ago. And that is the basis for declaring the emergency now in 2025. So parang antagal na pala yung emergency, ngayon lang sila nag-declare. No? So what is now the formula that they adopted in coming to this conclusion? Because that formula will become the basis for declaring future emergencies.
The United Broiler Raisers Association says there is no egg shortage in the country and questions the Department of Agriculture's motive behind the planned importation of chicken. In an interview with BNC's Follow the Money, the group's chairman, Emeritus Gregorio San Diego, explains there may have been misleading projections despite consistent increase in egg production.
Projection namin, through extrapolation, ang production natin ng egg last year, nasa mga 19 billion plus pieces. This year, ang expected namin, 22 billion pieces of eggs. Ang estimate ng DA, medyo lower than that. Pero yung trend pareho, ang estimate nila last year, ang naging production, mahigit 17 billion pieces of eggs. This year, ang inaano nila, projection nila will be 20 billion plus pieces of eggs. So pareho yung trend pataas So masaan yan yung shortage, hindi ba?
Okay.
Record na ng DA yan, saka record din namin na pareho ang trend. Although magkaiba ng konti yung numero, pareho yung trend.
We've got more news that you can use right now because Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Paolo.
Thanks, Mo. Two dominant weather systems are affecting the country today. The northeast monsoon is currently affecting Luzon, while the rest of the country is currently being influenced by the easterlies. Now, let's go on over to Luzon first, where the northeast monsoon will bring cloudy skies and light rain showers over the Cagayan Valley, the Cordillera region, administrative region rather, Aurora, Quezon, and of course Camarines Norte. These areas may experience cooler temperatures along with intermittent light rains. Now, over in Metro Manila and the rest of central Luzon, you can expect partly cloudy skies with isolated light rain showers. It means that the residents will generally experience milder weather conditions, but brief showers may occur. Over in Mindanao, as we go down south, you can expect cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, especially in Caraga, the Davao region, and Socsargen, due to the easterlies. These areas are most likely to experience more frequent rainfall and thunderstorms throughout the day, which could cause localized flooding in some regions. Now, for the remaining areas in Mindanao and in the Visayas region, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. These showers will generally be short-lived, but can still lead to localized heavy rainfall, especially in the afternoon or the evening. Now let's see how the sea conditions are affected by all of this. A gale warning has been issued for the northern, western, and eastern coastlines of northern Luzon, particularly in Batanes, Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands, Isabela, and in Ilocos Norte. The warning also covers the eastern seaboards of central Luzon, specifically Dilasag, Casiguran, and Aurora. Mariners in these areas are strongly advised not to venture out to sea due to the anticipated rough to very rough sea conditions, with wave heights possibly ranging from 2.8 to 4.5 meters high. Back to you, girls.
Thank you for that weather update, Pao. Now, in other news, the trust ratings of President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte suffer another blow in the latest SWS survey commissioned by Stratbase. From 54% in December 2024, the president's trust rating is at 50% in January, while the vice president from 52% to 49%. There are 1,800 respondents in the survey conducted from January 17 to 20.
Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin assures the public President Marcos will not meddle on the impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. In a statement, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin explains that the president respects the House of Representatives as a co-equal branch of government in its handling of the complaints. The Makabayan bloc earlier blamed the president for the chamber's inaction on the complaints against the vice president. House Secretary General Reginald Velasco vows to tackle the matter this week.
The Senate and House have agreed to postpone the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, elections for 5 months. The House had earlier proposed a year-long postponement, but in the BICAM meeting yesterday, the lawmakers agreed to adopt the Senate version.
Masyado nang matagal. At actually, ang totoong rason ko, personally, hindi ko alam yung rason iba. Pag 1 year, di masapat na panahon na naman ng Kongreso para i-reset uli yan. Mas maikli, mas maganda para sa akin para wala ng panahon na i-reset pang muli. Dapat matuloy na ang halalan sa BA.
Senate President Cheese Escudero adds COMELEC doesn't need supplemental budget as they've allowed the poll body to use its savings.
In world news, the trade war between the United States and China picks up some steam. That's after China imposes tariffs on U.S. imports on Tuesday and put several companies, including Google, on notice for possible sanctions. But U.S. President Donald Trump says he's in no hurry to speak to Chinese President Xi Jinping to try to defuse the new trade war between the world's two largest economies. Trump had earlier imposed a 10% tariff on Chinese imports, sparking China to retaliate.
Over in sports, hoop fans are still processing the NBA mega trade that rocked the world of sports. Now, regardless of what stage of grief you are in, especially if you're a Mavs fan, it's finally happened. Here's your first look at Luka Doncic in the purple and gold. The Los Angeles Lakers officially introduced the Slovenian ace as its newest player on Tuesday in the U.S. Doncic enters his LA era after spending 7 seasons with the Dallas Mavericks. In a press conference, Doncic talks about teaming up with his idol, LeBron James, and the aftermath of the shocking trade that brought him to LA.
Honestly, it was hard first. That first day was really hard. I felt like this last 48 hours was 1 month. Like 2 days ago was 1 month ago. So emotionally, it was really hard. But every day that like today was much better. I'm just very happy to be here for this opportunity. It's the Lakers. It's one of the best clubs in history. So I'm excited to be here. It's just like a dream come true, I always look up to him. There's so many things I can learn from him, and I'm just excited, just to learn everything, and now I get to play with him. So it's an amazing feeling.
The sky is the limit for Doncic, deemed by many as a generational talent at just 25 years young. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka explains the impact Luka brings to the Lake Show.
Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. The reason I say that is because we have a 25-year-old global superstar that's going to get on the stage of the most popular and influential basketball brand on the globe. And I think when those two powerful forces come together, it brings basketball joy to the world, because that's how Luka plays. He plays with joy. Children in Shanghai or Sydney, they're going to be wearing a number 77 Luka Doncic Lakers jersey and bringing joy to basketball just like he does. And that's why it's powerful.
Mark your calendars, hoop fans. The Lakers and the Mavs are scheduled to face off in LA on February 26, Philippine time, for the first time since this shocking mega trade. But Luka's return to Dallas will be on April 10. Now, of course, I tried to do something for Anne Mo. I actually messaged Mo about this. How can I explain to Anne in non-sports context
It was
of
a
how
great
big
way.
I'm
this
actually wondering, because some
trade
of my
is?
guy friends have been posting about this.
Yes.
Not that I understand it, but
course.
they're not happy about Luka being there.
Okay, ganito
Why is
yun.
that?
Oh, I'm so excited to explain.
Go, Pao.
So
He
how
sent
you
it to me
explain
last night.
How
Okay.
you explain it is that imagine you're a PR agency and then client mo si Taylor Swift, okay? Taylor Swift in this case is Luka Doncic. You traded Taylor Swift for Katy Perry
Okay.
from
Kaya-
another agency. So Katy Perry, amazing artist. Arguably her peak was back in 2010s to the 2015s, give or take. Taylor Swift is the girl now. That is what it means. So Luka is Taylor, AD is Katy Perry, and I think you may have a better idea now.
Yes.
All right. Oh my gosh.
We were
Thank
sending
you.
each other analogies yesterday. I'm like, how to explain the trade better.
It was difficult because I knew we were going to talk about it more.
It's going to be a whole week thing.
Yeah, there were so many other analogies, but that was the best one I could figure out. So
Killed
there
it.
it is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people
Yeah.
are not pleased about this whole trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not used to Luka being in gold and purple. I don't know. I'm so used
Oh,
to seeing him
but the
for
Philippines is
Mavs.
Laker country.
It is, so they love
in
it.
general, happy yung mga Pinoy fans.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, my boyfriend's so happy because he's a Lake Show fan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still in shock. I'm still grieving.
Though
that
I have
Luka's
friends who are
not a
Mavericks
Mavs.
fans, they have we have yet to hear from them.
But have you guys seen?
It's been 3 days.
And Oz, have you seen the Mavericks fans like put like a funeral in front of the
Yeah.
American Airlines
seriously?
Center?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
all of them are grieving.
But you know what?
Okay.
It is a showbiz at the end almost and that actually leads us up to our entertainment.
Your
That's
segue
right.
is amazing, Paolo. I will be
Take
learning
it away,
from you
Mo.
soon. Well, in entertainment, we get a look at the latest cinematic iteration of Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. The trailer for the Fantastic Four, The First Steps, was released on Wednesday. The movie stars Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch, and Ebon Moss-Backrack as the Thing. The movie is set in a 60s-inspired retro-futuristic Earth, and the Fantastic Four, The First Steps, is set to hit cinemas in July. Here's a closer look.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Wow, the trailer looked amazing. We were watching, that was the first time we all watched it.
I know, right?
And
But
it
we
was
were so
good. We're
quiet. Like, whoa.
I
we
mean,
can't
that's 30
wait.
seconds of just amazing. I don't
Yeah.
know what to say. I'm speechless.
It's fantastic.
Exactly.
No, but I'm excited because there have been 2 attempts to making it in the past and mixed results. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, and I think
the
the cast.
first one with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And then of
Yes.
course the second one as well that wasn't as good. So sana.
So this one, we're looking forward to this one.
And I love casting,
And it's
looks amazing.
Yeah,
reimagine
casting
and
is
ano to,
great.
for all the dorks out there, we see Galactus guys. So anyway, so I know I'm so sorry, but then there you go.
Okay, moving on. Academy Award-winning actor Ke Huy Quan cementing his legacy in Hollywood, literally. Quan had his hands and footprints immortalized outside the legendary TLC Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. It comes days before the release of the film Love Hurts, his first major leading role.
And I would always get here, really early before the showtime. And I would walk around and look at all the different names, different people with the hands and footprint, and I would actually put my hand over theirs. Just feeling, what does it feel like to have your hand and footprint so permanently imprinted at this iconic theater, historic theater.
Quan started his film career in the 80s as a young actor in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies. In 2023, he won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you guys seen that movie?
I haven't seen that one,
I
but-
loved
seen
it.
that.
It's kind of weird. The gist of the whole movie is kind of weird because Michelle Yeoh had powers.
Oh wait, I did see half of it because it was so confusing.
It
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, no, like
Because
literally.
it jumps from one
It
setting
is.
to another.
It's not like one movie. It's
But the
a lot.
acting there is
Oh, no,
just
the acting's
spectacular.
amazing.
Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis was also there. And I feel like he is such a genuinely nice
Oh, I
person.
love him.
Right?
Yeah. He's just adorable.
Yeah, I mean, it's also great. I mean, like seeing his story starting from the 80s in
Yes.
Indiana Jones.
Child
and-
star
Yeah,
pala.
child
Yeah.
star. Actually, his story kind of reminded me of the Filipino version of him, si Dante Basco, because of when he was in Hook. He used to be Rufio.
Oh, him!
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Hook was my favorite movie when I was growing up.
And then he still has a nice career over in the States and more on voice acting, if I'm not mistaken. And also
I
a
haven't
few
seen
movies.
him recently.
I mean, if you watch Avatar, he was the voice of Zuko. So in that series, but then so
Yeah.
he has a very good career,
Okay.
and not the heights of not the same heights, but still it kind of just reminds me of it. Na
Yes.
you could be a child star and then have a great career moving forward. Kasi iba yung pressure nila eh. that they
That's
have,
true.
that they feel.
I
right?
mean, you've seen like the child stars kind of spiral, like
Oh, yeah.
Amanda Bynes.
That's so true.
I feel bad. I hope she returns like Lindsay Lohan. like Lindsay Lohan, right? She spiraled a bit, but I mean,
now
she
she's
came back
back.
better than ever.
And she looks great, right?
Because she started with the Mickey Mouse fan club.
Absolutely. And you know what? Speaking about looking great throughout the ages, ito, no spirals, just looking great all
Yeah,
all
I
the
know.
time.
She looks amazing.
Looking great forever. When we return, guys, we will have actress Marina Benipayo as she talks about her passion for locally made bags. So stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
First, updated, on top of everything, and focused on the things that matter most. This is who you want to be. So scan your digital boxes now and search for Bilyonaryo News Channel. Always on top.
Former President Duterte and Congressman Ungab disclosed that the 2025 General Appropriations Act had several blank areas in the budget. Do you think it's accurate, and do you think the claim that the GAA would be unenforceable is correct?
Well, ako, honestly, I haven't seen the GAA yet.
Wala pang printed copy after it was passed.
Yes, so wala pang printed copy. If indeed the story of merong mga blanco is true, mali yun. And that should
Is
be
that the first time
invalidated.
that would have happened in the history of the Philippines?
Yes, if this was true, maybe. This is the first time I ever heard of this being done. Kasi I've been a member of Congress since 1998 and I haven't actually, in fairness naman, I cannot really categorically say that this particular budget for 2025 is flawed because I'm not a member of the BICAM.
Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, when she's not busy taping teleseryes or attending red carpet premieres, actress Marina Benipayo can be found online talking about her passion for locally made bags. And she is back to talk about it live. Welcome back to It's a Beautiful Day, Miss Marina Benipayo.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Great having you back.
I know.
Thank
Just
you.
last week you were here with Mr. Ricardo Cepeda, of
Yes,
course, talking
yes,
about
yes.
love and resilience and faith. And now we are going to talk about your new passion, discovering locally made bags. So how did you discover this passion for bags that are, yes, made in the Philippines?
All right. A couple of years ago, I started having a TikTok account. And then,
So everything started when you posted something on TikTok? So sa TikTok lahat?
TikTok lahat.
Okay.
I started buying mga bags from TikTok because they're really affordable.
Right.
But with from my experience, there are some bags that you receive that hindi sila kasing ganda nung nasa picture.
Nung actual, yes.
Or
yes.
even when they go live with it, when you receive it, it's substandard.
Okay.
So I started telling my husband about it. I said, Richard, tingnan mo ito, ang pangit-pangit. Sayang yung 350 ko. Ganyan. Pangit, kawawa naman yung makakakuha ng ganito. Maloloko sila, ganyan.
Okay.
Or otherwise, no, look at this bag, it's so beautiful.
Right.
No, mura lang siya, ganyan,
Yeah.
ganyan. And then until such time na I was watching one day there's this factory called Cherry Blossoms.
Okay.
And it was their first time to go live on TikTok.
Okay.
So they had siguro ba 3, 5 viewers. Kasi gano'n naman talaga, di ba? 3 to 5 viewers. So I said, okay, I'll get a bag. I usually purchase when I watch a live sell and then konti lang nanonood for support, no?
Okay.
So, I bought a bag, which is one of them, no?
One of the bigger ones.
Oh, sorry, Lukotan, because it's really soft. And
I love it.
This pink one is calling my name, actually.
Yes.
Okay, go.
So anyway, I saw Venice. I bought one in color wine. And then I liked it. And then I bought another one. And then another style.
Okay.
And then I think they noticed kasi that I was the one purchasing it.
Okay.
So in my third or fourth order, they gave me a box of different colors.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And bags. So my husband said, oh, you have a lot of bags now. Why don't you go live on TikTok? Because I was going live on TikTok because I sew my own tote bags.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I just chica with the audience.
Okay, okay.
Now, why don't you show the audience the bags that you purchased, the really nice ones, so they know what and where to buy?
Yes, yes.
Ako, okay, that's a good idea. So I started that way only.
Okay.
Until I realized that, well, it's not only local but also overseas. No?
Okay.
And then I started noticing the difference. Maybe it's just innate sa akin, but I really love the local ones
Okay.
because better. No? Because at the same time, and these are factories, Shelly Blossoms and Marikina Bags Marikina. They're both local bag factories. And when you purchase from them, you directly help the factory or the workers.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I got to speak to one of them, and then they said that during the pandemic, during the lockdown, a lot of the bag factories had to close down.
Okay.
Which means loss of employment for a
Yes.
lot of our kababayans.
Yes, yes.
And then after the pandemic, some of them started, started putting up their businesses again, but a lot of them failed. Okay, because by that time, a lot of the overseas bags were yung flooding the markets already.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Okay. And price-wise, they're able to go lower, price themselves lower than our local bags because the local ones are 70 to 80% made by hand. They only have a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Overseas, they have machines.
Yeah.
They're all
Yes.
mechanized.
Oo,
Then that's why their
mass-produced na
yes,
siya
and that's
talaga
why
eh.
their stitches are, more than perfect,
Right.
perfect
Yes.
lining because they're all mechanized. And then, sabi ko sa kanila, I told them, wala bang nag-aano sa inyo? No one's promoting them for you. And we can't afford to pay anyone to at least show, to show the bags.
Yeah,
So ako, I'll do it.
Oh, that's
So I'll do it for you kasi, well, in the first place, I love their bags.
Right.
And
Yeah.
kasi ako, in my childhood, kasi I wasn't even able to afford to buy myself a bag. And that's how I learned to sew.
Okay.
From my mom. I even sewed my own backpack. Usually tote bags, sling bags, no? And then, this time, I have a lot. So I thought, wow, what a blessing. So I'll help you. Because the overseas bags, ang dami nila, and yung bagsak presyo, given
Right.
People will just buy them.
Yes.
And what I noticed, compared with the bags sa mall, the bags, naku, pwede ko pa sabihin yun.
Just don't say any brands.
Okay.
But you can talk
Yes,
in general.
yes.
Bags in the mall, they cost 3 times the actual price.
Yes.
At least, di ba?
Yeah.
Right.
But if you buy straight from the factory,
From the factory,
Right.
you
yeah.
get it
From the
at the
source.
base price.
Yes.
At the same time, you help our local workers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You support our
Yeah,
local directly. No, it's not even like when I go live, it's not like I'm a reseller. I'm not. I'm just an extension of the factory.
Yes.
I'm not being paid to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Because, and then they tell me, wow, you're a good salesperson. So, no, it's It's not sales. I'm actually just presenting them to you.
Yes,
If you
yes.
like it, it's okay. If not, I've had the chance to show you how beautiful the local
Yeah.
bags
Yeah.
are. And you get it at the factory price. Because when these bags go outside na sa market, they'll cost 2 to 3 times more.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Especially when they put a brand on it. You can imagine how much.
You know, and these bags are amazing because we saw it
Yeah.
on you last week, right?
Yes.
And we were like,
Yeah.
That was what
bag
you
is
were
this? This is
using.
You're asking me what brand?
Exactly,
That's
because look how
local.
ergonomic this is. Like, it
Yes.
fits for your underarms. Like, it's just so adorable. So, can you tell us the price range for some of these bags and what leather? Because you mentioned that this is
Vegan
vegan
leather.
leather. So, can you expound more on that as
All
well?
right. Vegan leather is actually a kind of leather. It's a combination of different materials. It can be all artificial or partial. You know, they can use organic materials mixed with inorganic materials to make leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a move already since the turn of the century. That to save the animals, the environment, use less products that use animal hide.
Yeah,
Because some of these animals have been starting to get extinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there are international brands who are using also vegan leather and even PU leather because they have different classes or
Yes,
types,
yes.
levels of quality. So these ones, they're the high quality vegan leather ones. And then with PU leather, people say kasi, ang pangit ng PU leather, nababakbak, ganyan. So ako, no. You have to know that there are different types of PU leather. PU is polyurethane, which is artificial. Vegan is also artificial. But with vegan kasi you mix organic with inorganic materials. And that's why they have a certain softness.
Yeah, it's really soft.
Yeah. Okay, so but at this part, you're getting it straight from the factory.
From
and that's
the factory,
Yeah, you know what
yeah.
I find it hard lang is to convince, not naman convince, to not educate,
Yeah.
It's just to open our eyes more to the beauty of local
Yeah,
materials,
that
of local
was
products.
actually what I was gonna ask you because how did your viewers embrace these local products? Kasi yung mga Pinoy, alam mo yung parang pag imported, dun tayo sa imported,
Yes.
di ba? Pag branded, dun tayo sa branded. And sometimes we don't really give as much focus or attention to these locally made bags, which are just as beautiful, di ba? Just look at them. So when you started doing your live sessions, Miss Marina, how was it like interacting with your audience? And also, how did you in your own way, try to change their perceptive of locally made products?
Well,
A work in progress, right?
No, the first time I showed them the bags, a lot of them were asking, anong brand? Anong tatak niyan?
Yeah.
Saan galing?
Yes.
So, that was last year, no? Fast forward to now, there's a niche already, okay, of my audience who have started embracing local products. But the start, wow, everyone thought that since I was a model, I appear on TV, that I'd be selling or presenting to them imported bags.
Yeah.
I told them, wag ninyong isipin na purkit artista o na puro imported ang gamit namin. Sa totoo lang po, for me, mas maganda ang local. Especially if you get them at factory price. Kasi, I can't even afford naman yung mga, the expensive brands, no? Okay, so I focused more, since I was young, I always focused more on looking for bags with really, really good quality pero very affordable ang price.
Okay.
So, nagkataon, with TikTok naman, with the kind of audience, that's exactly what they want also. But I found it hard to medyo
like infiltrate the
to convince them na maganda to.
Yeah.
I keep telling them, I'm not asking you to go full local. You know, I'm just asking you to at least have a part of your heart, open the part of your heart kahit 20% lang. No? sa closet ninyo. Open your hearts and your closets and your pockets.
Yes.
20% or 2 pieces, 3 pieces na local in your collection. I'm not telling you to, totally not support yung ibang gusto ninyo. But at least, kung pwede, in your room, you have 1 or 2 pieces that are local because every time you purchase a local bag, yun lagi sinasabi ko, you also directly support our local workers.
Yes.
And these local workers, day-to-day yan. They depend so much on the purchases that people... Diretso Again, this is not yung reseller. Kasi pag reseller na, tataas na yung presyo nila.
Yes, may patong na yun
So talagang medyo mahirap sa kanila explain the whole process of why this costs much less than what they are used to buying.
Yeah.
Pero at this point, it's a slow but sure. I've had a lot of chances talaga na and offers to get paid to promote yung iba that are not local. But I said no to all of them. Even nga sa skincare, ganun mo sa TikTok, di ba? So, I've had chances to, yung at least have some income promoting yung mga ibang brands na hindi local. But for me, I chose to stick with this local brand, yung Glam Beauty, to support them lang. So, in my showcase, when you see sa TikTok, in my showcase, yung first na makita mo are local.
Right.
And then, overseas naman, I also I also include naman sa listahan ko yung mga overseas. But these are the really nice ones also, and affordable. Sabi ko nga, so that people will have a showcase, will see a showcase where all of the items are nice.
Yeah.
Parang may options sila, right?
Yes.
I think it's sweet what you're doing, especially to give back locally. Have any of your celebrity friends bought any of these bags?
Yes, Nadia Montenegro bought a lot. Nadia Montenegro and Yayo Aguila.
She guested on our show before.
And then she loves her orange one.
Okay.
Si Nadia bought a lot for her staff.
Okay.
You got this.
Edited ba to?
Lifetime! Come on, Miss Marina!
No, but there are celebrities already who use the Venice, no?
That's nice.
The pink one, right?
Yes, but in Cherry Blossoms, they also do their live sale, but theirs is the Florence with a logo. Okay, so when I agreed to, I'll help you, di ba? But kung pwede, wala yung logo.
Right.
Kasi for me, it's really parang kotse stock car lang.
Yes,
di ba
parang generic.
So they agreed. So in my live sale, all my items don't have logos.
They're all unbranded.
Yeah, but they go live also, but theirs has logos. But it's a different names.
Yeah. No, I really thought this was from Europe or somewhere when I saw this on you. It's so beautiful and like the quality is just amazing.
The owner is Rochelle Garcia. Naku, tigas ng ulo. Sabi ko, gumawa ka ng bag na talagang parang yung her taste for bags. Her taste for bags are medyo on the classy side talaga. So she came up with this one. Beautiful. And may kwento to may parang engineering kasi to.
Sige.
When they receive it, it's like this. It doesn't have that shape.
It doesn't go down.
Yeah, and that's why before we started, I kept pressing it. But the secret really is once you start,
Once you put
once
stuff
you put
inside
your
the
stuff
bag.
inside,
Then the shape really comes out.
Pangit nung kit ko. And then you do this, it has the shape na.
It's so pretty.
Their first batch is almost sold out.
Unique.
Okay.
And that's just a week.
Miss Marina, you know what? I wish we had more time to talk about these wonderful bags. But just in case, we have our viewers who want to purchase these bags from you on TikTok, why don't you invite our viewers to check you out on your socials?
Yes. Thank you. Everyone, please visit my TikTok account, Marina Benipayo. Isa lang yun.
The one and only.
Yes. I do my live sale, randomly, when I have the free time. But usually every other night or day or afternoon. Just follow my account so you'll be notified when I'm going live. Or you don't have to wait for me to go live. You can just go straight to my showcase. All the bags are there. Their photos, colors, everything, all the details you need to know. I also espouse, affordable and high-quality bags. Also, kung hindi kayo masyado brand conscious, we're on the same track.
Great. Thank you, Miss Marina Benipayo, for joining us again.
Thank you for
Of
having
course,
me.
thank you for coming. Well, up ahead, don't go away because this National Cancer Prevention Month, we give light to early detection and advanced treatment options available in the Philippines. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
At BNC, 12 noon doesn't mean break. We're always ready to give you the latest news, even at noon.
And those are the news this hour. Here at home, the Commission on Elections assures the Public Attorney's Office files new complaints. NGCP assures the public its Chinese investors are no threat.
Join Maya Rodriguez, delivering fresh news for you. Newsfeed at noon.
Keep it here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
We are more than dissatisfied and disappointed with the way the budget has, in our view, been twisted to serve patronage politics. President Marcos actually has an excellent cabinet, I think, right? Now, the task is to defend it from the congressmen and particularly the bicameral committee, all right? The bicameral committee, and that process is closed door, right? So when they were doing all of these little diversions and the magic, there's no accountability because there's no transparency.
Beauty, adventure.
I do agree with that. I would rather spend my money on travel.
We got you. Join Marie Lozano where she uncovers the untold stories and surprises in the world of lifestyle.
Love it. Let me get my geek on. That was so amazing.
The Lifestyle Lab on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Get to the latest stories.
The Philippines bags a historic bronze at the 2025 Asia-Pacific Women's Lacrosse Championship.
The updates.
Table tennis power duo siblings brought home medals from the WTT Youth Contender.
The scores and what to celebrate in the world of sports.
I'm Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erica Christensen.
On the scorecard.
Where sports is our business.
Business is our sport.
Only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Cancer is the third leading cause of death in the Philippines. The Philippine Institute for Development reports 25,000 cases of cancer every year. Data also shows the rate of premature death is too high due to late diagnosis. Citing that cancer is no longer a death sentence, experts tell the public to heed the early symptoms of cancer and explore available options. This National Cancer Prevention Month, we look into early detection and some of the medical advancements in the field that you might not have heard of. Joining us via Zoom for that and more, Dr. Imelda Edodollon, Medical Director of Holistic International Comprehensive Care. Magandang umaga po. It's a beautiful day, Dr. Imelda. How are you?
Good morning, Paolo. Good morning, everybody, and to those who are watching us right now. Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Doc, of course, we're starting off first since we are trying to really advocate for early cancer detection. Ano siguro yung mga steps to do that? And of course, how can you encourage people to get themselves checked regularly?
Okay, so early detection is a must for us right now. Okay, most especially with patients who have relatives who doesn't have cancer just yet. So first is you have to have yourselves checked. It's called preventive diagnostics. So initially, we have to have a consultation with the doctor, and then a series of tests will ensue, blood tests, imaging, like ultrasound, x-rays, if needed, and then another consultation for the results will come.
Doc Imelda, when a medical facility says that they do personalized tests designed with their genetic profile in mind, what does that test entail?
So basically, that test checks for the patient's genes and also the relatives, because we have a lot of relatives who have not been diagnosed just yet, but carry the genes. One of the genes is called P53. Another is the BRCA gene that will predispose you to breast cancers.
Well, Doc, of course, we're talking a lot about the genes and how can people identify that if they have those? We mentioned the tests a while ago. Normally, sometimes some people don't even realize that they have those genes. Are there any early symptoms or signs that people should watch out for?
Well, basically, the symptoms of gene mutation are not that clinically well diagnosed. No, we have certain tests that can help specify what specific gene that you have this mutation with. One of the tests is called the oncotrace. Another are certain blood tests that are available in the hospitals.
So, Doc, I'm really curious. How do you apply integrative medicine to your cancer patients? Because I know that's something a little bit different.
Yeah, so basically, integrative medicine is slowly being accessible, and patients are well aware with the integration that can happen. So integrative medicine is a smart fusion of conventional medicine with alternative therapies. So we help the patient's immune system to really increase, so the patient's immune system can fight the cancer cells.
What are some of the alternative treatments that you guys offer? And I know there's specifically one called the ozone. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so basically, ozone therapy is a medical therapy that helps in patients' immune system. So we infuse the patient's blood with ozone. It's a medical grade type of ozone. So basically, ozone is O3 and oxygen is O2. If we infuse the ozone inside the patient's blood, we get to boost the patient's immunity, and we help the patient's body to not to fight cancer and to not have cancer as type of prevention.
So, Doc Imelda, it uses literal ozone gas, for this treatment. How safe is this, though? And what are the risks?
So ozone therapy is not for everybody, okay? So we help, as doctors, we help the patient to be to filter everybody that will not give you the candidacy for ozone therapy. So we check for the CBC or the hemoglobin of the patient, and high grade or high dose ozone therapy is needed. We check for what we call the G6PD. So ozone therapy, there are a lot of therapies that is under the umbrella of ozone. So one is called the major autochemotherapy. So basically, it's blood-based ozone therapy, wherein we get 200 cc of blood from the patient, infuse it with ozone, and bring back the blood to the patient. So ozone therapy helps the body's immunity to be increased, and it also is a great preventive and also curative for viral diseases, fungal diseases, and also bacterial problems.
Doc, you mentioned it's not for everyone. Are there any dangers? Is there any criticism when it comes to ozone therapy? Because I do understand, I think it's still classified as alternative medicine.
Yes, it is still is classified under alternative medicine. So we check for the patient's hemoglobin. If the patient's hemoglobin is below 9, the patient is not a good candidate for blood ozone therapy. So if the patient's G6PD test results came back negative, or if the patient is G6PD deficient, that entails that the patient is unable to tolerate high doses of ozone therapy, like the 10-pass ozone therapy and also the EBU therapy.
Sorry, Doc, is this for cancer stages? Is there for any specific cancer stages when it comes to recommending this particular treatment?
Okay, so ozone therapy po is not a standalone. It's not a standalone therapy for cancer. So ozone therapy is a supportive therapy for patients who have cancer and for patients who do not have any cancer diagnosis. Yes, opo, opo. So ozone therapy, once the patient is a good candidate, for example, if the patient's hemoglobin is more than 9, and if the patient is G6PD efficient, so that specific patient is a good candidate for ozone therapy.
Doc Imelda, I wanted to ask you about stem cell therapy because I remember my dad died of cancer, and when he was being treated at MD Anderson in the US, this was one of the options that were given to him. So what does stem cell therapy do?
Okay, so that's a wonderful question. No, stem cell therapy is one of the top tier therapies that we have today. So stem cell therapy is part of what we call cellular medicine. Okay, stem cell therapy involves live stem cells that we infuse to the patient. Okay, so it can contain that specific vial, or the IV therapy that is being infused might contain as little as 10 million stem cells, or it can even be to as high as 200 million stem cells. So basically, stem cell therapy is made from umbilical cord stem cells. So we infuse it direct to the patient via IV intravenous infusions, or it can be via intraarticular, intramuscular injections. So these stem cells will be the ones to create new stem cells. These stem cells will be the ones to create new cells for the patient that will help the patient recover faster and optimize the body's immunity as well.
Doc, are there other latest advancements in cancer treatment in the country here in the Philippines that you can talk more about this morning?
Yes, okay. So we are very fortunate that we are living in this specific decade in the Philippines, okay? Because through globalization, the Philippines are able to open its doors to more comprehensive diagnostic tests and to more globally linked blood tests. So one of the tests that we have is what we call the Onconomics Plus test and Oncotraces test that is being advocated by RGCC. So RGCC is one of the main proponent of cancer tests globally. So they have specific testing wherein if you do not have cancer yet, they call it the oncotrace. So there are certain traces of genetic that can lead to cancer. So we also have what we call the Onconomics Plus, wherein if the patient has cancer, it has the ability to map out that specific what alternative therapies is the patient most susceptible or sensitive with. It can also map out what specific immunotherapies, what specific chemotherapies that will mostly be suited to the patient.
Doc, do you have to wait for symptoms before you go to the hospital and have a test done? Or if you already know that cancer runs in the family, you can just go and undergo these tests that you mentioned?
Well, I believe in prevention is better than cure, right? So if we're able to prevent, or if we're able to catch a specific disease as early, even when the symptoms occur, that will be most beneficial to the patient. Because, for example, a couple of decades ago, we are unable to diagnose stage 0 cancers. Do you know that there is what we call the stage 0 cancer? So with early diagnostics, we get to prevent that specific tumor to reach to stage 1 even. So a couple of decades back, we get to check patients na, stage 4 na agad. With the current avenues that we have right now, we have the ability to detect even stage 0.
Of course, when we talk about stage 0 and we talk about all the work that you do, we mentioned a while ago, you do blend the traditional and advanced medical practice to really optimize yung mga outcomes for all of the patients that you have. How is that balanced out? How is that mixed? Because we're talking about so many great advancements, so many early methods to actually detect cancer cells. How do you balance both the traditional and the advanced practices?
Okay. With the hospitals right now, we have what we call optimum immunity and optimum body. So we get to check the immune parameters that we have. Okay. So for example, with our current lifestyle right now, we leave for work early in the morning and we arrive at home at night. So so basically we have a decrease in the exposure from the sun, hence the vitamin D can be decreased. So it's one of the things that we get to check for the patient. We get to check for the patient's vitamin D because vitamin D alone is a great parameter for cancer prevention and in fighting the cancer battle. So I would suggest for everybody listening right now and to you as well as hosts, please have your vitamin D checked.
Or magbilad na kayo sa araw.
I need to. But Doc, I want to revisit what Anne said earlier about how if you know you have cancer running in your family and you mentioned that prevention is better than when you already have it. If for our viewers and for us, if you know it's running in your family, how often do we have to go see our doctor to get checked or to do the alternative medicine that you suggest?
Okay, first is checking at least once a year. The patient, if you have had exposures or even risks or family history of colon cancer, please have colonoscopy every 5 years, depending on the age. So if you have had exposures or genetic risks for example, breast cancer, breast cancers, please have your ultrasound done at least once a year. Okay, and then do the blood parameters and check for your immune panel. And of course, it's not the checking, right? It's not just a checking. You have to really take care of your body. You have to be more mindful of what you eat. You have to be more mindful in the little things that you do in life. So be mindful. Even stress is really entirely related with cancer prevention. So please have a great stress management protocol.
Preaching to the choir, Doc, kasi manage your stress, matamaan ako. But Doc, all of that aside, when we take a look at Cancer Awareness Month, as someone who's been in the field for around 15 years already, can you tell us a bit about first how you felt the field here in the Philippines has advanced since when you started, and of course where you think it's going right now? How hopeful are you para sa cancer care dito sa Pilipinas?
Okay, with the current modernization and also globalization that we are experiencing right now, and with the rise of AI, right? So parang everything, every part, even if it's from Sweden, if it's from Switzerland, it can be just a couple of clicks away. So we have to really utilize those specific technological advances that we have in the Philippines. So when I started my practice 10 years ago, there are less tests that are available in the Philippines because a lot of the tests come from abroad. For example, the test that I have mentioned earlier to you is called the Onconomics Plus. There are just 2 laboratories in the world. One is in Switzerland and another one is in I think it's in Germany. So there are just 2 testing centers in the world. But even if it's now moving forward, even if the laboratories are outside of the Philippines, we get to access it we get the laboratory test to have access in the Philippines. Get the blood in the Philippines and send it out, and then the results will be out in just 2 to 3 weeks time. So it's very good. So another are some tests called the DNA course, the circle DNA test, because it checks for the patient's DNA, right? It has a lot of enzymes that will give data to the doctors. Oy, ito yung kakainin mo. There are certain genes that you are more susceptible, that brings you more susceptibility to diabetes, and even gives you a great glimpse if you are lactose intolerant. So it really maps out big time. We have this huge genetic mapping of the gut. It's called the gene microbiome, or the gut 360. So there are a lot of tests right now that is just a couple of clicks away. All you have to do is find the right doctor who can give you access to these blood tests, and then you get to have your prevention right away.
Doc, first of all, thank you very much for all of the insight. For those who want to know more, and of course who want to reach out for you or maybe schedule a checkup as well, how can they reach out to you?
You can always reach out to us via Facebook. We also have YouTube. Our clinic is called Holistic International Comprehensive Care. You can text me in my number. It's 0917-622-4565. Or you can check us out in our Facebook pages. It's Holistic International Comprehensive Care. We have branches in Quezon City, Alabang, and Pampanga.
Doc, I want to give you my blood just so you can check it out. Pero maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Dr. Imelda Edodollon, the Medical Director of Holistic International Comprehensive Care.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We've got more stories for you later on the show. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back, so make sure you keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Rain Musni. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey.
We empower.
This country deserves a real choice in the next election.
We motivate.
Do not invest money that you're not able to afford to lose.
Changes that are vital.
We're monitoring the sale of these products online.
Follow the Money with Rain Musni.
Keep it here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Always on top.
Ciao, mabuhay. You are watching The Word Exposed.
Prepare our hearts as we dive deeper into our faith and receive the strength from God's Word. Join Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as he shares the reflection we need for the rest of the week.
We pray that the Word of God would find fulfillment in your life and His blessings be always upon you.
Every Sunday, 7 a.m. with replays at 3 p.m.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now we have some news for you this morning. Social media influencers are in hot water after snubbing the fake news probe in the House Tricom. Only 3 out of the 41 influencers attended the probe looking into institutionalizing regulation within the community like KBP and National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. The lawmakers issued a show cause order to the influencers whose excuses did not make the cut. Some of these summoned personalities marched to the Supreme Court instead of attending the hearing, stating the probe is unconstitutional and only used to silence critics.
A military historian and defense analyst says Chinese spies have long been present in Filipino communities to promote pro-Beijing stance. Jose Antonio Custodio tells BNC's Agenda this is the reason why government should be able to put up its own information warfare to combat fake news. For instance, on the issue of the West Philippine Sea. He also cautioned the public on the use of Chinese artificial intelligence app DeepSeek, which may be used to promote the Chinese narrative.
One thing with China kasi is long-term yan kumilos, no? They go by the decades, and they invest talaga in corrupting a society. And that Chinese app is just one of those tools that they do to corrupt a target society.
Fighter jets from the Philippines and the U.S. Air Force soared through the skies over Scarborough Shoal and other parts of the West Philippine Sea Tuesday afternoon. This is part of a joint bomber exercise, which also include an air patrol and air intercept training.
This exercise is a crucial step in enhancing our interoperability, improving air domain awareness and agile combat employment, and supporting our shared bilateral air objectives. Specifically, this activity will involve 2 Philippine Air Force FA-50 aircraft and 2 US B-1 aircraft.
While the Air Force of the Philippines and the U.S. were training, the Philippine Navy tailed 3 ships of the People's Liberation Army of China in the West Philippine Sea. Almost simultaneously, the Coast Guard drove away 2 Chinese Coast Guard vessels that have been staying within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone for several days.
Some lawmakers are suggesting banning the use of Chinese artificial intelligence app DeepSeek among government officials, particularly members of the armed forces. They say it's possible China may use this to download confidential information from the AFP. Agatha Gregorio has more.
The country should learn from Taiwan and ban the use of Chinese artificial intelligence app DeepSeek among government agencies, particularly the armed forces. That's according to some lawmakers.
I think the armed forces has to seriously consider what Taiwan has done. Because as you know, we have conflict, with China right now. And if you take this lightly and, act later, it might be detrimental to our security.
Congressman El Rey Villafuerte adds American AI technology is more advanced and the Philippines has nothing to lose in banning DeepSeek. In a Commission on Appointments Committee hearing for members of the armed forces, lawmakers also discussed the possibility of China getting sensitive information from phones with the app.
Like Russia, China, North Korea, Cuba, Iran, Syria, they banned ChatGPT, which is an American technology. So, it's a silent war, meaning if people against the Western or the American technology are banning them, it's really a risk. Downloading per se is not a security risk. The security risk is once you download it in your phone and they have a spyware that once you download the app, it will download all your data in the phone.
AFP's Communication, Electronics and Information Systems Service Commander, Brigadier General Constancio Espina agreed, saying there may be changes in AFP policies on the app. But Senator Bato de la Rosa raised questions on enforcement, particularly on the legality of cell phone inspection.
But my point is, the point that because if it's a personal device that was bought by the soldier and the individual, that would be very difficult to implement. What I'm saying, sir, is to control where the information is passing. So that's as far as from the computer that is being issued, to the cell phone that is being used for text, to the servers of all of this we can control.
Congressman Villafuerte says it would be best to implement this for cell phones issued by the AFP. Villafuerte adds it would be good to have a policy that covers government equipment. Agatha Gregorio, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The Bangko Sentral is working with financial players to reduce or eliminate transfer fees for digital payments. Sujin Kim has more.
BSP officials acknowledge that high transfer fees remain one of the top barriers preventing Filipinos from shifting to cashless transactions. Efforts are underway to lower costs, particularly InstaPay and PesoNet transactions, which are widely used for fund transfers between banks and e-wallets.
So that's what we are trying to do now. We are working with the industry and working together to find ways of reducing, if not altogether, doing away with fees for transfers.
To make fund transfers more affordable, the BSP is set to launch the Request to Pay for Cash-in system in 2025, which is expected to drive down the cost of loading funds into e-wallets and bank accounts. This move aims to ease financial transactions for businesses and individuals who regularly transfer money digitally.
So what's next for us? Basically, on the retail front, this is what's ahead. Again, this year, 2025, we're going to launch the Request to Pay for cash in. We're sure that it will drive down the cost of cash in when you load funds into your e-money or bank account from another e-money or usually you flow from bank account to e-money.
Additionally, BSP is actively collaborating with other central banks to improve cross-border payments, particularly with large Filipino migrant communities. This initiative could lower remittance costs, benefiting millions of overseas Filipino workers who send money home. The BSP is also aiming for higher transaction volumes to reduce unit costs for financial institutions.
So why are we doing all of this? Again, it's because we want to get more people to switch, or to have more people use digital payments and to have them use it more frequently. So, whereas before, non-user siya, meaning they never use digital payments at all, we want them to start using. And for those who use digital payments twice a week, 3 times a week, we want them to use it for 10 times a week, 15 times a week.
Sujin Kim, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Now, this is all what we are looking forward to on the show. What is in store for us this Wednesday, February 5? Feng Shui Master Hans Kua has the answers as he joins us for our horoscope of the day.
Good morning! It's beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for the day sa araw ng Miyerkules, February 5. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, magandang taon ito para mag-invest sa edukasyon at skills development. Blue at 9. Sa Oksamana, maging matagumpay kung magtitiwala sa iyong kakayahan. Kaya mo yan. Green at 7. Sa Tiger naman, maganda ang pasok ng pera mula sa personal na job. Red at 3. Sa Rabbit naman, mag-ingat sa miscommunication. Maaaring magdulot yan ng delay. Orange at 5. Dragon naman tayo, mag-ingat sa overspending tuwing may okasyon. Yellow at 4. Sa Snake naman, ang iwasan ng stress mula sa trabaho, maglaan ng oras para magpahinga. Silver at 8. Sa Horse naman tayo, ang pagiging open-minded ay magdadala sa iyo ng bagong inspirasyon. Purple at 1 ang swerte sa chart. Kay Year of the Sheep naman ang pagbenta ng mga pre-love items mo ay magdadagdag sa iyo ng extra income. Gray at 6. Sa Monkey naman ang pagiging pasensyaso mo o patience ay magdadala ng magandang harmony sa iyong love life. Blue at 3. Sa Rooster naman, magandang panahon ito para mag-focus sa personal growth. Sa Dog naman tayo, magiging mas romantic sa tulong ng simpleng pero meaningful effort. Gold at 7. Sa Pig naman ang maingat na pagpaplano ay nagdudulot ng magandang future sa finances. Purple at 3. Muli po paalala lang, ito po ay patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo nyo. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua.
Now, don't miss Feng Shui Master Hans's daily horoscope forecast only here on It's a Beautiful Day.
Up next, whale shark watching is now prohibited in Bohol. The details after the break.
bawat anggulo ng bawat issue.
Nagsagawa ng mock polls ang Commission on Elections sa 30 barangay sa bansa kaninang umaga.
Bawat detalye ng mga napapanahong pangyayari.
Pinaiimbestigahan sa Kamara ang hindi pa rin nababayarang reimbursements ng mga ospital sa PhilHealth.
Tuloy-tuloy na ihahatid kahit hanggang Sabado at Linggo.
At yan ang ating weekend agenda ngayong Sabado. Ako si George Cahiles. Sa bawat issue may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
Good morning, I'm Mikey Oreta and you're watching Business 360 where we break down the numbers.
This week we saw the S&P 500 make a new historic high.
Connect the dots.
I withdrew from the World Health Organization.
And give you the developments and insights you need to navigate, adapt, and lead. Real Corporation is funding artificial intelligence and data science research at the University of the Philippines.
Business 360, hosted by Mikey Oreta.
Keep it here on BNC,
the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Well, Governor Erico Aumentado stops whale interaction in 3 towns to protect the province's tourism industry. In his executive order signed last Monday, Governor Aumentado says whale shark watching is now prohibited in the towns of Lila, Albuquerque, and Dawis, a growing tourist attraction. The order was based on the findings of an interagency team that whale shark interactions involve feeding them with krill to lure marine animals to stay. This is a violation of a provincial ordinance and joint memorandum circular of various government agencies. The krill found on the water surface caused an unpleasant odor. Now let's take a look at the weather in Bohol, not to whale watch with. Let's take a look at this. Rainy throughout the day, making it unsuitable for whale shark watching. Kaya don't do it. According to Metro Weather, cloudy skies will dominate, keeping temperatures more comfortable for the day. Visitors are strongly encouraged to practice responsible travel during their time in Bohol, being mindful of the local environment and marine life. To enjoy the day responsibly, consider exploring other indoor or sheltered attractions in Bohol, and remember to stay safe and eco-conscious during your visit. Maybe see a tarsier. Now, more serious news here. The European Commission says most of European Union surface water bodies are polluted by chemicals. The European Union is drafting plans this year to tackle water shortages and droughts worsened by climate change. It will also address the intense pressure on water supplies from farming, pollution, and urbanization. As of 2021, only 39.5% of EU's surface water bodies, like lakes and rivers, were in good ecological condition.
In the meantime, a teenager dies following another shark attack in Australia. The incident happened in the popular tourist spot, Warram Beach in Brisbane. Authorities say they immediately responded after receiving a report on a serious shark bite incident. The shark bit the victim's arm, leading to her death. The tragedy happened only 100 meters from the coastline. This is the second shark attack fatality in Australia this year.
I could hear screaming. Next minute, all hell broke loose. There was choppers in the air, the ambos, and the police were running, and it was just, and I just couldn't believe it. And one of the ladies that was down here comforting one of the locals, I've been here 10 years, this has never happened, and it's going to devastate the community.
Filipino cuisine is sparking conversations once again on the global scene. The question now is, are we ready for our first Michelin star? Rumor has it, Michelin inspectors may soon arrive in the country, but the inspectors usually arrive incognito and without prior announcement. Recent Manila visitor and decorated Michelin-starred chef Gordon Ramsay even called our cuisine the sleeping beauty of Asia. And the 2 U.S.-based Filipino restaurants, Kasama in Chicago and Tadhana in New York, have attained the highly desirable star ratings. Speaking to our Marie Lozano, Chef Rhea Rizzo, and culinary enthusiast JC Cailes Lo tells us why it's time for the Philippines to have its own Michelin-starred restaurant.
The Michelin Guide is willing now to invest, if ever that's true, then
that will really boost a lot. We hope that there will be a lot of tourists who will go to the Philippines to dine. And that means that our restaurant business, the F&B industry, will have a lot of reservations. And we won't only have to rely to the local market.
I think it's about time. There are so many creative chefs out there, but not enough like platform for fine dining or to be more creative. Now it's great. It's high time for somebody like Michelin to come and assess the dining scene.
With the Philippines' vibrant local culinary scene, Chef Rhea and JC share their picks for restaurants they believe could earn the coveted Michelin star.
Of course, I'd like Toyo Eatery to be there. They're championing Filipino cuisine tasting menu. Gallery by Chele, Filipino-inspired like Hapag or Metiz. Even Ham by Josh Boutwood. I think they're all worthy to have that one Michelin star.
I guess a well-rounded experience, that would be Antonio's for me. There's also Sala by Chef Colin McKay. For the new ones, I would say there's also, I'm a big fan of Helm of Chef Josh Boutwood. Also Hapag of 30 and Nav and Aaron Recto, their song. Another one would be Gallery by Challenge. Okay, I would lie if I say that I don't want the star. So I'm just speaking for myself. But now knowing that they're here, now I want to take a look at our service sequence, our service, our wine program. It's very hard to raise your own seat.
We really deserve a Michelin star. I think our cuisine is ready. The restaurant scene is ready for a Michelin star restaurant. I think that we should go restaurant hopping.
I was just going to suggest that.
Yeah.
Pero
Totally
libre mo.
do that. Anne got it.
Pwede ba
Anne
gano'n?
has it.
Grabe naman ba't ako? Pwede bang split the
Kasi,
bill?
kasi para sa akin is unaffordable. So, kailangan si Anne talaga yung
But
magbayad.
this is what Abby Marquez was telling us on the show when we guested her just recently, right? That we should actually support also the local restaurants.
We do though. I love local restaurants. Yeah. You suggested the hopping, so you're paying.
Oo nga eh. Diba?
I just second the
Let's
motion.
move on.
Tama siya sa unaffordable cuisine.
But it's nice to go restaurant hopping and check out all these recommended spots.
But by the way, not all Michelin star restaurants are fine dining.
Agreed.
Yes.
So
There's
there could be cheaper options.
the Hawker
the
one.
Hawkers, right? So
In
there
Japan.
could be options.
Yeah.
In Japan as well. So there could be options that we don't realize.
Yeah.
That could be there. And you never know.
So
Could
if
be
our viewers know some of those options, please send them our way because that's going to be part of our hopping and I got the more affordable ones. Well, we're still on a fine dining topic because you can enjoy high-end culinary delights while on the go. A concept in Dubai makes that possible. So we're gonna go to Dubai soon and you got this. A double-decker bus combines fine dining with sightseeing, offering an experience that feeds the eyes as much as the palate. It's the first of its kind in the Emirates, which was brought in by a Lebanese businesswoman. And some customers say they are raving about this one-of-a-kind experience that lets them wine and dine while enjoying the sights of the city has to offer.
I also have a tourist company in Beirut. This project, Bastronomy, was supposed to see the light in Beirut in 2024. But because of the conflicts and the political situation, Gaza war, I moved here to Dubai. Why Dubai? Because Dubai is a city of innovation and also because it is a main destination for tourists worldwide. Millions of tourists visit Dubai every year.
The bus is incredible. It's really nice. It's really beautiful, really cozy, and also everything. I mean, I think the route, the tour, you're going to see, the main attractions in Dubai, which is really great. Normally the traffic in Dubai could be a little bit challenging. So being in this kind of really relaxed environment with music, great food, beverage, and also during the tour you could see the main attractions, read information about the attractions, hear a little bit about the history, which I think is really great.
If you did that in the Philippines, you're stuck in traffic, you'll never have an excuse to be late for dinner.
No, but I'm sold on that. I saw they had afternoon tea, and if you guys know me, that's my favorite thing to do.
I thought they're American, not British.
But afternoon tea is like
it's
really
very
nice.
British.
Very British.
Yeah, it is very
Because
British.
I spent some time in London. My best friend studied in Plymouth Uni, and I visited her often, and I loved it. Visited. I never lived, but I visited, and I'm obsessed with high tea.
Afternoon tea.
But you know, I feel like we can do the same thing here in the Philippines kasi we have large buses as well. Tapos pwede tayo mag-serve ng Filipino cuisine.
Yeah,
and nothing will spill kasi hindi naman gumagalaw yung bus minsan
kasi traffic.
And you literally won't move. The bus will just be parked in one spot, so you can't sightsee.
May rush hour special.
Yeah.
Parang degustasyon kapag rush
mas
hour.
longer, like a 10-course meal.
And of course, that is it for this Wednesday, February 5. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you very much for joining us today.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Make the rest of your Wednesday an unforgettable one by choosing joy and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Wednesday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day!